It's a little different.
I mean, it was still cool, but it was like, you're my best friend. Like, how do you not know?
Question. Oh, it's 8.
Yeah, it's time to go. This has been your Nashville Game Center update, powered by theGameNashville.com. I'm Captain Kurt on ESPN 102.5 The Game on 94.9 Game 2. Your exclusive home of ESPN Radio, locally owned, WPRT-FM Peagrove 97.5 Murfreesboro, WBUZ HD2 Laverne. This is ESPN 102.5 The Game. Now, a compelling take on the sports teams you love, and maybe a few teams you don't. This is the Josh Mathews Show. Good morning, Nashville. Hello, planet Earth. This is the Josh Mathews Show. It is Saturday, July 30th. It is the last Saturday in the month of July. Where did the summer go? We are live, not only on 102.5 The Game, ESPN Radio. We are live on Facebook. You can find us at facebook.com/The Josh Mathews Show. We will be live momentarily on Periscope, through Twitter, at Real Josh Mathews. The Josh Mathews Show is brought to you by Freedom Pro Wrestling. Big show coming to the fairgrounds here in Nashville, Saturday, August 6th, with a bell time of 7 p.m. If you're in or around the Nashville area next Saturday night, Saturday, August 6th, I strongly suggest you checking out Freedom Pro Wrestling. Our guest this week will join us at the bottom of the hour at 8:30, Robbie E from Impact Wrestling. But we also have an in-studio guest this week. She is none other than Impact Knockout and my wife, Madison Rayne. You can talk now.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Morning.
It's early. It's early for you.
Yeah. Whatever is one level above early, that's what I feel right now.
It was 6 a.m. when our alarm went off, and you looked at me like you just had lasers in your eyes of like, why are you making me do this today?
Yeah, I did, because you kind of backed me into a corner. You advertised and put it all over your social medias that, hey, special guest, live on the show tomorrow. So I couldn't really back out. So good morning, world.
This week on the show, we're talking about sports curses. We'll do that in segment number 2. You're a huge Chicago Cubs fan. They have been cursed for over 100 years.
They have been. It's difficult. You know, I'm also from Ohio. It's difficult to be a fan of any Ohio sport. It's difficult to be a Cubs fan. Like, I'm just beating myself up as it relates to professional sports. But yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we will talk about that. Sports curses. We want to hear from all of you. Let us know who you feel are the biggest curses, or what the biggest curses are in sports. Hit us up. Give us a call, 615-737-1025. This is the Josh Mathews Show. And now that she's here, Madison Rayne, and it's so weird for me to call you Madison Rayne. It just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. That's your wrestling name, your character name. But on the show, I will call you Madison Rayne for the next hour.
Can it be the Josh and Madison show?
No.
Madison and Josh show.
No. It absolutely cannot. Look,
It has
we've
a
been
nice
on the
ring
air.
to it.
We've been on the air for 2 minutes, and you're already trying to take over. I don't appreciate that at all. You and I had a very big, like a Nashville week, I'm calling it. We went to the Sounds game.
Yes.
Love anyone out there, if you're listening on 102.5 and you're in or around Nashville, you've got to check out First Tennessee Park. What's your favorite part of going to the Sounds game? Other than the game itself, I mean, you have booster, you've got miniature golf, you've got bags, you've got ping pong, all sorts of things that can distract you from actually being, the reason that you're there is to watch baseball.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that that's part of the appeal. It's such an experience. You know, when I was little, I didn't want to play softball with the girls. I'm the baby. I have 2 older brothers, and the first sport that I ever played was baseball. I wanted to play on the boys team. I wanted to play baseball. So my entire life, I've loved baseball. But going to a Sounds game is like you're buying a ticket for an entire experience. So, you know, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love going to baseball games. I'm not a huge, I'm doing the Twitter poll for the show this week. I have a lot going on. I had to set up Facebook Live over there. I'm trying to get on Periscope. My phone won't connect to the internet. It's a tough Saturday morning for me, and as I look outside at beautiful Nashville, it looks like it's going to rain today.
It's been raining all week.
Yeah, you're not kidding. We also went to Nashville Shores, which for the first time we had an opportunity to go there. So many things happening there from the Lazy River to the wave pool to Cowabunga Beach. Just a great afternoon at Nashville Shores.
Yeah, that was fun. I didn't realize, I guess, that we have a little vacation spot right down the street. So, now that it's the end of summer, I'm glad we finally found that.
Yeah. Nashville Shores, though, for anyone around Nashville, I strongly suggest you checking that out. Let's get in to what happened this past Thursday night on Impact, on Pop, as we get ready for Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory is our biggest pay-per-view event of the year. It'll happen in early fall. An exact date will probably come out, I'm guessing, maybe this week. Hopefully this week we find out when exactly Bound for Glory will be taking place. But we saw the semifinals go down. It was EC3 going one-on-one with Matt Hardy. These two have a heated rivalry, to say the least. They loathe one another. They have been going at it throughout much of the past year. And it came down to EC3 and Matt Hardy in the semifinals. Let's listen in to the conclusion of this matchup. So EC3 is moving on to the finals. The finals will take place this upcoming Thursday night on Impact, on Pop. Remember, it's 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. And then we would find out later in the night who EC3 would be going up against in the finals. It was Drew Galloway versus the Miracle Mike Bennett. Before I throw to the audio of that particular match, that other semifinal match, what are your thoughts on Drew Galloway and the Miracle Mike Bennett?
I mean, putting my personal feelings for Mike Bennett's wife aside, I don't think that the fans could have lost in these semifinal matches. All four of these guys, Drew Galloway, Mike Bennett, EC3, Matt Hardy, it was a win-win for the fans. So no matter what the outcome was to be, going into Bound for Glory, going into the finals of the Bound for Glory playoffs, I think it's an all-win for the fans.
And who would win that match between Drew Galloway and Mike Bennett? Let's find out right now.
The miracle in progress inside the ring. Galloway's down, and Mike Bennett is going to the finals of the Bound for Glory playoff.
So it will be the Miracle Mike Bennett going one-on-one with EC3. It is the finals of the Bound for Glory playoffs. The winner of that match this upcoming Thursday, August 4th, will go on to challenge the world champion, whoever that may be, when we get to Bound for Glory. That brings us to our Twitter poll question of the week. This is a new feature that we will be utilizing every week here on the Josh Mathews Show on ESPN Radio 102.5 The Game. The Twitter poll question of the week is, who wins the Bound for Glory playoffs finals this Thursday? EC3 or the Miracle Mike Bennett? You have 1 hour to vote, and I will give you the results at the end of the show. Give us a call, 615-737-1025. We will answer Facebook Live questions a little bit later. I'm sure there's a lot of questions for my guest, Madison Rayne, and our other guest who will join us at 8:30 from Impact Wrestling, Robbie E. Can't wait to talk to Robbie E. He's a former school teacher. He has a very colorful life. Yeah. And we're going to do a little bit of trivia with Robbie. Current affairs trivia with Robbie E. at 8:30. I'm excited to talk to Robbie.
I'm glad you're excited.
We also saw an X Division ladder match, an X Division championship ladder match on Impact. It was Lashley versus DJZ. Lashley right now is the world champion and the X Division champion. The man just seems to be collecting titles. Do you think that there's anyone on the Impact roster that can stop Lashley?
I do. I mean, I think on any given night, anybody could have the better night. Impact Wrestling is full of top-tier athletes, and while Lashley on the surface may seem to be the most the strongest and the most dominating, you can't count out really anybody on our roster.
That's a good point, and I'm very excited. I have a feeling that we're going to get to Lashley versus Moose at some point. I'm just waiting for this. These two have gotten in the ring together. It's been so close, and then the Miracle Mike Bennett took Moose away and took that match away from all of us. And for those of you unfamiliar with Moose, this is a guy that's 6'6", 300 pounds. He was drafted in the 5th round by the Atlanta Falcons. He played for the Patriots, the Rams, and the Colts. He's an offensive lineman. He's just this massive man, and when he steps inside the ring with Lashley, and you know how big Lashley is, 6'3", 275, Moose has got a little bit of height on Lashley, and these two are going to go eventually. Who do you think has the advantage?
Well, here's the other thing about Moose. I mean, he's an impressive figure just to stand next to him, but he's traveled the world. He not only does he have an impressive resume as it relates to his NFL history, but he's literally traveled the entire world wrestling. But we haven't seen a lot of that on Impact yet. So, unless Lashley is at home really doing his homework on Moose, I think Moose has the upper hand because we don't know what he's got up his sleeve yet.
Yeah, I conducted an interview with Moose that you can see on Impact's official YouTube channel, and really got to know and learn a little bit more about Moose, and he really has. He played at Syracuse, is where he played his college football, and then he went on to the NFL, but he really, once he decided he was going to be a pro wrestler, he really dedicated himself to professional wrestling. Very similar to Lashley, though. Here's a 3-time collegiate amateur wrestling champion. He trained for the Olympics, and then he decided to get into pro wrestling, and Lashley, in my opinion, right now, is doing it at a higher level than perhaps anyone else that's competing in a 4-sided ring or a 6-sided ring.
I think there's something to be said about the mentality of a professional athlete. And, like you said, once Moose got it in his mind that he wanted to be a professional wrestler, that's what he was laser focused on. I think that as professional athletes, we almost lose that part of our brain that tells us there's a possibility we could fail at something. So when we finally do get to see these two go head-to-head in the ring, it's going to be something that goes down in professional wrestling's history books.
We also saw a knockouts match. Listen to this, please.
This is Miss Maria. Do you know who you're talking to? And do you know who I am? Hi, Madison Rayne. Nice to meet you. I was and am the queen bee of the knockouts. And ever since you came here, I've been pushed aside so that your beast of a champion and your chipmunk of an assistant could be star players. Gail Kim deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But I want to know what you're going to do for me when I beat her. Well, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see if you beat Gail Kim.
That was Madison Rayne, our guest in studio this week, talking to Maria about her match that she had this past Thursday night against Gail Kim. I got to get to break momentarily, but you've got a big issue with Gail Kim, and then you didn't back it up inside the ring.
Whoa. I don't have a big issue with Gail Kim. I have a big issue with being pushed to the side in a company that I've been in for 7 years. That's my issue. Don't start problems that aren't there.
Well, Executive Bob Ryder wants to know why I got you up so early to be a part of this show on this Saturday. We'll answer that question and more. This is the Josh Mathews Show on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Okay, so they want to see more view in the camera angle from Facebook Live, and I don't know if they're hearing you right.
Yeah, you know what we'll do? We'll move this over to the back side by her. Yeah, so you hold that for a second.
Yeah,
We'll fix this, guys.
This segment. They must have missed the part that you buried.
Oh.
This segment we'll do here. So can you show me where you sit?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Oh, sorry, Brandy. I didn't realize I was
That's
going to go
right.
that way.
sit.
Hey, easy. There's a microphone here. How's that? How's that, guys?
Okay, let's see.
And they should be able to hear from that one. And then we'll get it plugged in. We'll get it plugged in eventually. Yeah, do a cheap plug for everything.
Say hi to the UK and Scotland.
Hi, UK and Scotland.
Chicken sandwich meal from Zaxby's. Wow.
They can't see your hotness, they say.
Definitely. Does the tongue torch sauce on the
Tommy
sandwich
Craig,
meal
can you see her hotness now?
fires igniting in
Move the
your mouth?
water. Oh, move the water.
You can't see the water.
They said move the water. I don't know.
move it.
Phone
The
calls?
cool ranch sauce hits and extinguishes
Have you
the
given the
flames,
phone number?
leaving little
What's that?
icicles
Did you give the phone
dancing
number?
delicately on your tongue.
Yeah, just twice, though. I gotta give it again. All right, so that was our first break. This is
You're
Dad.
gonna eat them all, aren't you? Definitely. Would you sell everything you own to have another meal right now?
Good segment. Good take.
Would you sell everything I own to have another one right now?
You owe her a big breakfast. No, it was good.
Oh my gosh. The biggest breakfast.
Huge.
The biggest.
Huge.
Definitely. Sucker. Zaxby's chicken sandwich meal.
I don't know. Why hasn't anyone called?
Drizzled with tongue torch sauce
Wanna
and
give her a
ranch. Served with crinkle fries and a small beverage. The best chicken sandwich ever created?
What?
Maybe.
Do you not do Periscope anymore?
Definitely.
I'm going to go live on Periscope
Get
right
your
now. I
buy
just
one,
haven't had
get one
time.
Beachman tickets now at
When's your birthday?
thegamenashville.com. Type in keyword Beachman to get 2 tickets
I
for the
usually
price
turtle
of
give me
1.
like
2
30
parks,
seconds.
2 tickets for the price of 1. The new water park expansion is
Oh,
now
cold in
open
here.
at Beachman
It
Park
is
and
a little
Splash
chilly.
Lagoon. So get your half-price tickets now.
What is 13? It's not what you think.
Shout out from to Puerto Rico,
13 is the
Madison,
average
to
age
you.
of entry.
What's up, Puerto Rico?
love
Love
you.
you. I've never been there. Would love to visit sometime. I literally, you guys, I can't. Are these comments down here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to see them.
Yeah, I left my contacts at home, so I can't.
want your child to be successful
see
in
any
school.
of this.
But how do you
Jeffrey
know that they are
Ryan
on
says
the
hi.
right track
Ryan.
for college and a
Madison.
career? There are 3
Oh, there he is. Hi,
ways to
Jeffrey.
prepare for a successful school year. Make sure to read at home with
Can
your
you
child
two
and
be
take
a
regular
thing?
trips to the library.
Like
Prepare
me
to
and
be
him?
your
Oh,
child's
this guy
teacher
just
at
thinks
the
you're the
beginning
hot.
of the
I just
year
keep
to
hearing how
build a
hot you
strong
are.
partnership. Find out
Yeah,
what
we're
your
live on
child is
Periscope here.
expected to learn this year and how you can help.
Hello.
For
You're
more
royal hotness.
information and
They can't
tools,
see you.
go to
Periscope can see you.
expectmortn.org.
Have fun. Good morning.
Morning.
Talk sports every day with my co-host, Aaron McFarland. If you
And she has her own segment, Josh. That's awesome.
get in the conversation and the fun weekday.
Yeah, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Huh?
At 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
ESPN 1025 The Game.
Yeah!
Welcome back to the Josh Mathews Show. Still to come at 8:30, none other than Robbie E from Impact Wrestling. Give us a call, 615-737-1025. In studio with us on this rainy Saturday morning in Nashville is none other than Impact Knockout, 5-time Knockouts champion, Madison Rayne. We were talking her issues and what she did on Impact this past Thursday. Moments ago, she was telling you how she feels she should be Knockouts champion. We also want to hear from you on Twitter. Our Twitter poll this week is, who is going to win the Bound for Glory playoffs finals? Will it be EC3 or the Miracle Mike Bennett? You've got about 45 more minutes to get onto Twitter at Real Josh Mathews and vote, and we will give you the results at the end of the show. But our topic this week is, do you believe in sports curses? And this is why I wanted to have you on the show. Not only because you're a knockout in Impact Wrestling, not only because everyone on Facebook Live seems to like you more than me, not only because they like you more than me on Periscope, probably on the radio as well at 1025, but because you're a Cubs fan. This is a team that's been cursed for over 100 years. How can I not have you on the show when we're talking about sports curses and the Cubs? 1908 was the last time y'all won a World Series. It's been over 100 years. Do you believe in curses?
I mean, how can you not? After everything that you just said, and you know, I'm not a stats person. I'm not going to get all of.
I'm not a stats person either.
I didn't. Okay. The Cubs, when they became a team, they won. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Like 11 out of their first 16 championships.
You could tell me they won 16 out of 16 in a row, and I would tell you, yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm
to me.
talking more for everybody else.
I know that the curse is that there was a goat that got lit on fire,
No!
and ever since then, the Cubs haven't been able to
Oh
win.
my God, lay out for a minute. No goats got caught on fire. So apparently the local tavern bar owner, he came to a game and he bought 2 tickets. He bought 2 tickets, one for him and one for his pet goat. And upon trying to enter Wrigley Field, he was denied access. And
Well, yeah, you can't bring a goat to a baseball game.
but he bought a ticket for the goat. And the reasoning wasn't like, well, you can't bring a goat to a baseball game. It's because the goat smelled. And in the seconds that followed his not being allowed into Wrigley Field, he made the statement, you're never going to win again. The Cubs ain't never going to win again.
That's a direct quote.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, baseball players, professional athletes as a whole, they're very superstitious. And I know that because growing up, my oldest brother played baseball, and he was, and explained to me that baseball players are some of the most superstitious people on planet Earth. And so for this team to have been cursed by this goat and then go 100 years and not win a World Series, I mean, how can you not believe?
So you believe in sports curses?
I do believe in sports curses. I especially believe in this one. I mean, there have been attempts to break this curse, and according to the nephew of the bar owner who placed this curse on Wrigley Field and the Cubs, the only way to break this curse is for Wrigley Field to willingly open up their doors to goats. Not because they want to win a championship, but because they feel remorse for what has happened to this poor goat. I mean, I don't know that I believe that, but I think maybe rather than leaving the decapitated head of a goat at the front door of Wrigley Field, maybe...
Yeah, that happened, a couple of years ago, or was it last year?
I think it was 2013. I'm not a stats person, but in the last few years, yeah, that happened. But why don't we try to be nice to the goat? Why don't we let the goat inside? Why don't we take it to the groomer, clip its nails, take it out for a steak dinner? Like, why don't we try that avenue?
So you think that the goats should get like a spa day, like a big thing for all the goats in Chicago to sort of make amends for this curse of the goat, and then maybe the Cubs will win a World Series. Look, they got the best record in baseball right now. I think they're 62-40 if they won their game that they were playing yesterday. And when I checked in the seventh inning, it was 11-0.
They did. They won. I mean,
that puts them 7.5 games ahead of St. Louis, I think, well on their way to perhaps winning a World Series and breaking this curse.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. A lot of Cubs fans, I think, maybe thought that last year was the year for that to happen. It didn't happen. We came this close. But yeah, it's definitely possible. But in the meantime, why don't we stack the deck in our favor? Like, why don't we have an open goat night at Wrigley Field?
615-737-1025. Give us a call. Let us know what you think about sports curses, and we'll open it up even further. Sports superstitions as well. You can get us your questions on Facebook Live if you would like to. We are live on Facebook, facebook.com/The Josh Mathews Show. I actually changed the Facebook address to The Josh Mathews Show. I thought it'd be a lot easier for everyone to find. Live on Periscope as well. This is The Josh Mathews Show again, 615-737-1025. We're brought to you by Freedom Pro Wrestling. Their next show, Saturday, August 6th, here at the Fairgrounds in Nashville. We're talking to Madison Rayne about sports curses. There's a thing called the Madden curse. Are you familiar with this?
This is the video game cover, right?
Yes. If you're on the cover, and the curse, I believe, was broken in 2012. And I want to talk about how we feel you can break a sports curse as well. But 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, through 2008, wow. The person that was on the cover of the Madden video game from Garrison Hurst, he breaks his ankle after having an amazing season. Barry Sanders in 2000 retires. They put Dorsey Levens on the cover, and he was a Green Bay Packer. He had a horrible year. He was released following the year. In 2001, Titans fans, you'll remember this, Eddie George was on the cover. He kind of drops a ball in the AFC divisional game against the Ravens. The Ravens win that game. Dante Culpepper in 2002 gets a knee injury. Marshall Faulk has the worst season of his career in 2003. Michael Vick in 2004 gets arrested. He also has a fractured fibula. Injuries to Ray Lewis in 2005. McNabb in 2006. Sean Alexander. You can't make this up. I mean, you're on the cover and something happens to you. So how do you feel you can break a sports curse? Do you have to invite the goat in? I mean, what do you do to break these curses in sports? You have to solve this problem that's been going on for well over 100 years right now.
You want me to solve the problem?
Yes. Or anyone out there listening, 615-737-1025.
I mean, do the people who get the cover of the Madden video game, do they have a say in that? Do they have a choice?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, my personal way of breaking the curse, if I were an NFL player, would be to deny and run from any and all parts of being on the video game cover.
I think being on the cover also comes with a hefty payday.
I'm sure it does, but not if you break your ankle and then you're off the team.
Well, Calvin Johnson broke the curse in 2012. That's when he became Megatron, and he had a career season for the Detroit Lions. So the curse, Is it once a curse is broken that it can no longer be a thing anymore? Like, is that?
I guess we'll find out. Who's going to be on the next cover?
I believe it's Rob Gronkowski, and the game comes out August 26th or August 27th, and we'll find out what kind of season
We'll see.
Gronk has.
He's had an impressive, exciting
Off season?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Rob Gronkowski, I mean, look, if you want to do that kind of stuff in the off season and you can still play to the level that he plays at, I think it's okay. I mean, I don't want to get into conversations about Johnny Manziel or anything. I mean, I think he cursed himself. He's in a downward spiral that he just can't escape from. But Rob Gronkowski, look, he's got a lot of brothers. They like to have fun. They like to drink. They like to go to Vegas. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. But once the season starts, once training camp starts, and by the way, Titans fans, training camp starts today. Chase McCabe will be live at 2 o'clock at Titans training camp, and we may go and check out what's going on at Titans training, unless you're sleeping later.
To be determined on that. We'll get back to you. That sounds like fun, though.
Yes, so training camp starts today, so I think once that happens, the partying has to cease, or you may find yourself the victim of a curse in your career.
You know, in that case, I don't know that it's a curse. I think that you're a product of the environment that you're putting yourself in. And, you know, these guys may also be a product of being young and having fame just thrown at them. And, you know, when you were 19, 20, 21, and you were getting your first taste of fame, I'm sure it was difficult to walk a straight and narrow path all the time.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. I have a hard time walking the straight and narrow now.
I know you do.
At close to 36 years old. And look, I say it a lot. We all make mistakes and things happen. And curses are something that sort of you just can't. I guess that's the difference between being a product of your own environment or a curse. A curse you just can't sort of stop. It's just there. The GOAT is always going to curse Wrigley Field unless they bring the GOAT in and embrace the GOAT.
All GOAT day.
We'll see what happens if they ever have an all GOAT day at Wrigley Field. I don't see it happening anywhere in the near future. We're going to take another break. When we come back, our guest, it's Robbie E from Impact Wrestling. Have your questions ready for Robbie. This is the Josh Mathews Show on ESPN Radio 102.5 The Game.
Monday on Sports Night,
Who's
Titans
on?
training
Oh,
camp
sorry.
continues to
Yeah,
unfold,
mine's hot.
plus the Major League Baseball trade deadline.
Say hi to Ray Ray.
Ray Ray?
Ray Ray.
Hey, Ray Ray. Where?
She's on Facebook Live.
Hi.
So you can't see you at all?
That's okay.
We got Robbie. Phone number.
Don't say it out loud. Last week you said it out loud. Okay, so you have to do some shout-outs, ma'am.
Do you have Robbie's number?
No.
All right, we'll be back, Periscope. We'll be right back.
Okay, so Daniel Jones says hi from Northern Kentucky.
Hey, Daniel Jones.
Let's see this.
You're not far. You better be listening in.
So if I hear you need to be in the next Hall of Fame, says Paul Nagel.
Thank you, but I'm okay with not. I mean, I've got a pretty impressive resume. I'm happy with my career, and if that doesn't end with a Hall of Fame induction, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
Jarrell Marie says Madison, you should be champ.
Again, that's something that I've accomplished several times. So, you know, if and when it happens again, awesome. But won't lose sleep over it if it doesn't.
All right, so say hi to Lafayette, Georgia. You've got Robert. You've got Seth.
Hey, Robert. Hey, Seth. Hey, Georgia. Good morning.
Should run her fan club here.
Easy, I'm the star of this show.
Franklin County Sheriff's Department's on again. They said hi to you, Gerald David Doris.
Hey, Franklin County. Is that Franklin County,
I think it was,
Tennessee?
I don't know. I think it was Illinois last time. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Gerald has to tell us. And you're the star. Or is it stolen?
Stop it. I'm going to give you 30 minutes to stop it.
Right? Keep talking.
Let's do Periscope over there.
So they can't see you at all, which I don't think they care right now because like, she's more seen it.
That's
Oh, it's
rude.
in Benton, Illinois. Yeah, Franklin County.
Okay.
Is that rude? They have their, yeah, it's all about you today. They can look at you next.
Go Periscope right there. Robbie E.
This is Floyd Reese for Bob's Steak and Chop House in the Omni.
Our next break comes at 41 after the hour.
What if we didn't call it?
He's already on the phone.
Every steak on the menu is prime beef. Their menu formula is
Would he be mad if he had to sleep in today? That's funny.
fabulous salads and awesome desserts. Bob's
Did you know
Steak
there's
Chop
like
House is
25,000 Beachbody people here right now? And
I did
there's
know
way
that.
too much spandex going on downtown, that's all I'm going to say.
I did know that.
Oh, just because they sell it in your size doesn't mean you should wear it.
Right?
I consider because when it's see-through, that point is nothing.
Your size.
Can you go to my Twitter and see how the Twitter poll's going?
When is Robbie coming in?
Whenever we get back from break. He's on right now.
He's on the phone though. They think he's coming
Oh,
in.
no.
No, he won't be here.
615-737-1025.
What am I doing on Twitter?
Check my Twitter poll.
Oh, they want to know where your ring is.
My ring?
Now, more of Josh Mathews on ESPN 1025 The Game.
Welcome back. This is the Josh Mathews Show on ESPN Radio 1025 The Game. Our Twitter poll question of the week is who wins the Bound for Glory playoffs finals this Thursday? Will it be EC3 or the Miracle Mike Bennett? EC3 is running away with this right now, 68% to 32%. You have 35 minutes left to vote at Real Josh Mathews. Our guest right now competed in a Monsters Ball match this past Thursday night on Impact on Pop. A Monsters Ball match pretty much means anything goes. There's no rules. There's no disqualifications. You can use weapons. You can use whatever's at your disposal to inflict pain and punishment on your opposition. And he was a part of the challenging team, part of the Bromans. He's a two-time tag team champion. Please welcome Robbie E. Hey, Robbie.
Hey, what's going on? My body is a little beat up for Monsters Ball, but you inviting me to be on this show has put me in a better mood, and I'm like, my spirits are better, so I just feel better about the whole thing. This made my weekend, Josh.
Well, good. I'm happy to hear it, first of all. And second of all, thank you for waking up early and joining us. Are you in New Jersey? I know that you're often traveling.
I am in New Jersey right now, tweeting, doing Instagram, and driving to the gym while talking to you.
That sounds safe.
Well, I got to get ready for my twins.
Robbie E, folks, he's having twins. If you follow him on social media, and he'll give out his social media addresses here momentarily, but you're a busy guy on social media.
YouTube channel, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, private Facebook, wrestling Facebook, like page Facebook, website, Skype, and I'm trying to get into Snapchat, but I don't get it. It's like, do you guys do Snapchat? It's confusing for me.
Madison Rayne does not do Snapchat. She had it, and then she deleted it. I actually do Snapchat, and I like it. Mine's private, though. I like it because you see who sees your things, and if somebody, like, screenshots one of your things, you see that as well. I think it's pretty cool.
Yes, yeah, I figure I can see you having a private one, but Madison, I see looking at Snapchat, kind of like the way she looks at me, just, like, disgust and just doesn't like it, and it's like Snapchat reminds her of New Jersey probably, and yeah.
I don't so much have a problem with New Jersey, just one of its current residents.
Gotcha.
Let me just get everyone on board here. Madison Rayne and Robbie E don't really have a great friendship, a great relationship. I think Robbie likes Madison, but I don't think Madison likes Robbie.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and sometimes I'm totally like, yeah, you know what, she fools around with me, and I really do think she likes me. Then other times I'm like, no, she definitely just despises me. It'll never change. She hates me. But then, like, Josh, even you saw, sometimes we'll have, like, a conversation, and she'll laugh a little, and, like, we'll talk about serious stuff. And, like, I think she likes me again. So I can't figure it out. What's your take on it, Josh?
I don't talk to you about anything serious.
That's not true. Lately, we've been having, like, serious discussions about, like, politicians and wrestling and, you know, life. So.
You know, Robbie, you used to be a school teacher before you were a wrestler, right?
Correct.
So what did you teach?
I taught physical education and health to high school students grades 9 through 12.
And you were going to be the principal of this school, correct? That was the path you were on?
Well, I was going for my master's to become a principal. So whether I was of that school or a different school in my township. I eventually, was going for that, yeah.
Okay, so you're all over social media. You said that you have serious conversations with my wife about politics. Can we play a little trivia with you?
Yeah. It's Saturday morning. I'm in a great mood. The barbed wire's wearing off. Let's do it.
Perfect. The first question I have is pretty easy. Name the famous mountain in South Dakota with the 4 presidents' faces on it.
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore is correct. Very good. Second question.
I'm not gonna lie. I really was surprised that I knew that.
Here's the second one. Who right now, in 2016, is running for United States president?
Come on, these are easy, bro. Hillary Clinton and Trump.
Hillary who?
Hillary Clinton. I watched her speech the other day.
I am very impressed. My wife didn't think that you would know who's running for president right now.
Well, my wife is really into it, so I watched both of them do their acceptance speech things, and I'm not gonna lie, within 2 minutes I was completely bored. They both say the same thing. They both say they're gonna change everything and do all this stuff. Here's the deal: I could go up and give one of the speeches that they gave, and by the end of my speech, everyone would be saying, "Oh my God, Robbie E should be president." It's just you deliver a speech, you watch it, and then you believe the person, bro.
No.
I could go do that same speech, and you both will. Well, maybe not Madison, but you, Josh, will want me for president.
I don't know if I'd ever vote for you for president. But I mean, I don't know, Stranger Things.
Who are you voting for?
I'm not going to vote because I feel like I'm not intelligent enough on the matter. So being the adult that I am, I think my vote I don't want to give it to the wrong person, so I'm just not going to do it.
We are talking to Robbie E from Impact Wrestling. If you have any questions for Robbie, give us a call, 615-737-1025. Robbie's a 2-time World Tag Team Champion, and he's 2-0 right now in our trivia contest. I have one more question for you. You are a world traveler. What is the currency that they use in England?
These are simple questions, bro. Pounds.
Okay.
I'll tell you why I'm so familiar with pounds. It's because the first time, and you might have heard this story already, and it is a true story, the first time that I went to England, I was doing a little tour of wrestling, and at intermission, I was signing pictures, and I made my sign for how much my pictures cost, and whatever it was, 10 or 15, I don't remember, but I just knew it was called pounds, so I put 10 LBS period. And I had it the whole time, and then finally someone told me, dude, that's not like the pound sign, it's not pounds in weight, and everyone was laughing at me, and I didn't know it, and it's pretty funny, right?
It is funny. I've heard the story before. I love hearing it again. I'm sure everyone out there listening loves to hear that story as well. You and I have had these questions, honestly, I didn't know if you would know the answers to, because a lot of people feel that you are in your own Robbie world, you're happy in that world, and you don't really pay attention to what's going on outside of it unless you're looking for free stuff on social media.
Well, that is true, but I mean, the pounds one and the 2 president one, I mean, those are I kind of have to know those, even if I am in Robbie E world, but obviously I know he's running for president. I am surprised that I got the Mount Rushmore. First I didn't know it, and then somehow it popped in my head. But also, someone probably has asked me it in the past, and I've gotten it wrong, and then they told me the right answer. Maybe that's how I know it, because I don't know how I know it.
You know, so many people out there that know you are in awe of the stuff that you get and the things that you promote on social media. For someone out there listening to this show, what is the trick? What is the secret to getting all this free stuff that you've acquired over the past few years and then you post a picture of on social media? I mean, you've got life rafts, you've got kayaks, you've got all sorts of free stuff.
Oh, I just got a new power washer for my house. I mean, all you really have to do is just ask for it. And I think everyone just chooses not to, or doesn't think they can get it, or thinks they're too good to ask for stuff. Me, I'm a regular guy. I'm a normal guy. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I mean, free stuff's always cool, no matter who you are. So I'm not too good or too big to ask for it. I'll always ask for it. And it's awesome. My house is just filled with boxes. It's like Christmas at my house every day. I'll come home. If I'm gone 3 or 4 days in a row, when I come home, my wife's there's 20 boxes at the house. I don't remember what the stuff is. I pop it open, and it's just all this. It's fun. It's like I'm a little kid, you know?
Hey, Robbie.
And, sometimes when I have 10 minutes to kill, 20 minutes to kill, whatever, I'll just say, today I want whatever. I'll choose what I want, and then I'll just contact some people, and that's why I forget sometimes what I asked for. Yes, Madison?
The economy says thank you for that. Way to contribute to your country, to the economy. What do you buy? What do you pay for?
I went to the movies last night, and I paid for the movies, but I went to eat afterwards, but it was my friend's restaurant, so that was free.
Have you hit up like Pampers yet, or Huggies?
We already have tons between fans and companies. We already have tons and tons of diapers. You legit. We haven't even had our baby shower yet, and you can't even like sit in our nursery. It's insane.
Hey, man, I think you're doing it the right way. I really do. I think that you're out there, you're hustling, you're trying to do things, you're promoting these companies. I think you're doing a great job.
And you're not rolling your eyes to Madison when you say that, are you?
No, I'm live on Facebook right now. When we're done, you can go watch this on Facebook Live, and I'm also live on Periscope. So I did not roll my eyes at all. You know that I'm a fan of yours. I'm a supporter of Robbie E, the wrestler. I think that you're doing a great job in your in-ring career. You've upped your game. You want to be known as this hybrid athlete. What do you think is the next step for the wrestler Robbie E?
Well, I think the next step is just fans taking on a different side of me. I'm always going to be Robbie E. I did the serious thing for a little bit. The fans saw that it wasn't me. I know that it wasn't me. But that doesn't mean I still can't be the old Robbie E, which is my funny self, and bring a serious side out sometimes, like you saw this past Thursday Monsters Ball. So I think it's just the fans realizing and getting it in their head that, wow, this guy actually could wrestle and this guy actually could win matches,
You got choke-slammed in Monsters Ball through barbed wire that was attached to a board. How's your back?
Well, days later, surprisingly, it's not as bad as I thought it would be afterwards. Some scratches, got some Band-Aids on my back, but I will say that it makes me feel cool because, now I'm going to the gym with Band-Aids on my back, and, everyone's looking at me like, man, that guy's tough, and, I'm like, yeah, I'm tough. So...
He is Robbie E. He's Robbie E. from Impact Wrestling. You want to give away your social medias, please?
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram, at Robbie E. Impact. Website, robbie-e.com. And then, of course, all information for Impact on impactwrestling.com. Boom.
Robbie, buddy, thank you for waking up early and being a part of the Josh Mathews Show.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much. Madison, you have a great weekend. We should do this again.
I'm good, thanks.
Robbie E., thank you for being on the phone. You guys can call us 615-737-1025. Our topic this week is curses in sports. We have a Twitter poll question. We'll get to all of that and more right after this on the Josh Mathews Show on ESPN 1025, The Game.
This weekend, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and the National League Central leading...
Riley what? Yes, I got to hit that one more time. Yeah.
They said your facial expressions got a lot of during that little interview. Your number is flashing too.
Can they hear?
Do you work in a
They
restaurant?
could, yeah, they can hear.
They can hear the show?
Yeah.
Slip shoes.
Nobody said they can't.
Jensen shoes on White Bridge Road. We have quality footwear,
When Robbie
including
was on?
sizes and widths, plus a professional trained staff.
I just wonder if they
Have you
can't.
ever
Can
wondered
everyone?
where your
Can they say if
No,
they?
Catherine.
Well, the answer is complicated. However, the solution
Yeah.
could be simply inadequate
Well, that-
shoes, including fit,
Is that Periscope they can't hear?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh wait, tell
Periscope.
Josh. Oh, hard to hear on Periscope. Periscope, it's hard to hear. We're gonna get this all fixed soon.
George says yes, they can hear it. Daniel says they can. Yeah, everybody's saying they can hear it.
You can hear on Facebook, but not on Periscope.
Yeah,
Because I
Mark,
got the speaker over here.
it's 615-737-1025.
Yes. So if I put this
So Mark
here,
needs to call in.
you might be able to hear from there.
Hey, guys.
Check out our testimonies on the
If I
web.
stand back here, they can see me. I'll just do the show from here.
That's Jensen Comfort Shoes on White Bridge Road.
We should do a Twitter poll on what everyone thinks of
Contests on
shorts.
WPRT-FM and WBUZ HD3.
You can't see my sleep shorts.
Are you in sleep shorts?
Yeah, right now.
No. I sleep in these.
You know, I thought they were a little long today. Right.
Hey, it's early.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
We got one more segment to go.
All right, so your question, we're going to go to football a little bit.
I'm going to do a little bit of football. I'm going to do poll questions. We got the Pope on the line.
The what?
I don't know if it's the real Pope, but it says the Pope.
Oh, but he's on Facebook Live.
Let's see what's going on here. I have some Chrissy Hemmy's hometown. Hi. Madison football.
No football, Mike Morrison. We have to talk football. Camp started.
No football.
No soccer. Really?
Which is pretty nice because the prizes are here too. Good luck and thanks for listening.
So people can't talk on Periscope, is that?
I think we just watched that. I don't know.
I'm showing me.
When you're talking, your head's getting cut off by the camera.
Me?
Yeah.
You sit back a little bit.
Can you lower your seat? Can we just lower your chair?
Oh yeah, you should be able to lower your chair a little bit.
Hi, Mark Grabo. Say hi to Mark Grabo. He's one of my friends from home.
Hi, Mark.
This chair.
Whoa! Whoa!
Mark Grabo's super
Is
dad.
that weird?
Easy. Hello from Chicago. Go Cubs.
The sports teams
Here down.
and maybe a few teams you don't. This is the Josh Mathews Show.
The few teams that you don't like, if you're in the Nashville area listening on ESPN Radio 102.5, will most likely be the Oregon Ducks, and we will be talking a lot about my Ducks once we get closer to football season. We will not be talking about Madison Rayne's Ohio
Go
State
Buckeyes.
Buckeyes because they play what is called a soft schedule. They don't play anybody.
Remember that soft game where we beat you guys for the national championship?
615-737-1025. This is the Josh Mathews Show. Our topic is curses in sports or sports superstitions. If you feel that you can contribute to that conversation, give us a call or hit us up on Facebook Live. We will be answering questions on Facebook Live momentarily. I also want to know how we're doing in the Twitter poll. The question this week is, who do you feel is going to win the Bound for Glory playoffs finals that will be taking place this upcoming Thursday night? Impact on Pop, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. The poll right now, 265 votes. EC3 is up 72% to Mike Bennett's 28%. You got 19 minutes left, guys, to get in your votes at Real Josh Mathews on Twitter.
Keep in mind, too, just to play devil's advocate here, Mike Bennett was the first person ever to pin EC3 in an Impact Wrestling ring.
That is true. EC3 went close to 700 or 800 days of never being pinned and never submitting, and the miracle Mike Bennett got it done. He pinned EC3. He's got to do it again if he wants to go to the main event of Bound for Glory and challenge for the championship. Let's go to the phones right now. This is the Pope on the line. Is this my broadcast colleague or is this somebody else?
Well, who else in the world would it be? If he says his name is Pope, Daddy.
You've been on hold this whole time. I wasn't sure if it was you. Thank you for waiting.
I understand that. It's not a big deal. Pope's sitting here having a cup of coffee, enjoying himself until the point when Robbie E came on the phone.
Right.
So I disconnect, but I was like, no, I'm just going to wait it out.
Where are you watching from? Are you in Florida? Are you in Louisville? Where are you?
Pope's home in Florida, Daddy, and once I got wind that sweet little Maddie was on the phone, on the show with you, I had to call. I had to speak to her.
I don't blame you. She's here with us this week in studio, not begrudgingly at all, having to wake up at 6 a.m. Hey, Bud, you know as well as I do, we got a huge match coming up this Thursday. Who do you think wins, the Miracle Mike Bennett or EC3?
Well, as much as I hate to say it, Madison just pointed it out a couple of minutes ago when she said that Mike Bennett was the first to ever pin EC3. I think Mike Bennett is going to do the same thing going forward, and he's going to make history going into Bound for Glory to challenge for the world title.
It's a bold prediction. We are talking to the Pope, an impromptu call from my broadcast colleague on Impact Wrestling. I love working with the Pope every week. I give him a hard time behind the scenes. I give him a hard time on the air. He's one of my favorite people in Impact Wrestling. Just a tremendous, humble, and happy, and just a great guy, buddy. I appreciate you calling. What else you got going on? How's the Love Alive charity? You want to talk about that momentarily?
We're moving right ahead, man. Love Alive Charity. We got our new website launched at love-alive.org, where people can go find out more about the Love Alive Charity. They can also find out our mission, what we're about, and also they can learn to donate via the website as well. So we're moving right ahead, and we're looking forward to spending a family or two before the school season starts by stepping in and doing what the parents aren't able to do for a lucky child or two or a family.
You're doing good work, bud.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
He is the Pope. Hey, man, go enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for giving us a call.
But let me do
I am so good. It's so good to hear your voice this morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm trying to get this voice worked up, but I'm so glad to hear your voice. I just had to call in and say what's up to the both of you. Y'all enjoy your show. Josh, keep up the good work, and likewise on all the comments, man.
I'll talk to you soon. He is the Pope. That was nice to hear from the Pope early on a Saturday morning, listening or watching on Facebook Live, most likely from Florida. And we'll see the Pope this Thursday on Impact on Pop as we get closer to the end of the show. Again, it's our third week, and it's just another show that has just flown by. If you have any questions, get them in now, 615-737-1025. Our Twitter poll question of the week will close momentarily. We talked a lot about sports curses and you being a fan of the Chicago Cubs. They're one of the most cursed teams in all of sports. It is also a great weekend in sports in general. Today will be the third round of the PGA Championship being played up in New Jersey. It's the last major championship of the year. A lot of my guys didn't make the cut, unfortunately, so we'll kind of be paying attention to what happens in the third round today of the PGA Championship. And then, of course, 2 o'clock, Chase McCabe will be live from Titans training camp. It all gets started today. Football season's here. I am so excited for this. So excited for the beginning of training camp.
I am so excited to have my weekends free to do whatever I want with, because you will be holding down the couch watching any and all football that is on TV for the next 4 months.
Oh, I think we're 5 Saturdays away from the start of college football, 4 or 5. And, I mean, just this time of year, the fall, and being down here in Tennessee, you get full seasons. Not a full winter, but you get 4 seasons. And it's just, it's such a great time of year, and I can't wait for college football season to get started. And I can't wait to hear what Chase McCabe has to say later today, 2 p.m. Central, right here on ESPN Radio 102.5. The Titans made moves earlier this week. They signed Andre Johnson, tremendous wide receiver who last season, 41 catches, 503 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's more than pretty much everyone on the Titans last year except for Delaney Walker. Green Beckham was close with 32, 549 yards, and 4 touchdowns as well. But I think it's a great add for the Titans. I know a lot of people have been saying things about Andre Johnson coming here. I think he's a great leader. I think that Andre Johnson is going to do very well for himself here in Nashville as a Titan. Let's go back to the phone. Bob in Brentwood. Bob, what's up?
All right, so I think I've got your most cursed sports franchise right now.
What do you got?
Detroit Lions.
That's pretty good. Okay, go ahead.
1957, last time they won a championship, wasn't the Super Bowl, it was the NFL championship. Bobby Lane was the quarterback, and when they dropped him, he said, big mistake, you won't win a championship for 50 years. This season will be approaching the 59th year that they have not won anything. So, curious your thoughts.
I don't see the Detroit Lions breaking that curse anytime soon, Bob. Thank you for the phone call. That is, they perhaps are a cursed franchise. I mean, you look at, they had Barry Sanders, who was my favorite running back as a kid, and just unbelievable what Barry could do on a football field, and then he up and retires. He probably still had a few years left in his career, and he decided to call it a career. And the Lions, I mean, they do all these things in the draft. They sign all these awesome guys, these wide receivers. You know, we were talking about Calvin Johnson earlier, and he broke the Madden curse in 2012. But the Lions, they're also in the NFC North. It's tough there with the Green Bay Packers, and the Vikings are right there too. The Bears are abysmal. I will run down the Bears every chance, every opportunity that I get. I think they're one of the worst franchises in all of sports. Brandy is from Chicago. She's looking at me like I'm crazy. Look, I'm from Northwest Indiana as well, but I grew up a Green Bay Packers fan. My dad made the right decision for himself and then for the rest of us as Packers fans, and I couldn't be happier with the decision that he made. Facebook Live is blowing up, facebook.com/The Josh Mathews Show, and you can follow us there and hit us up with some questions, 615-737-1025. We've got a few minutes left. Let us know what you want to talk about here. Let's go to the phones again. Miguel's calling from Colorado. Hey, Miguel.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I have a quick question. Why does Impact Wrestling rarely mention the name TNA anymore?
I'll take that Thank you for the phone call, Miguel. I don't mention TNA anymore because the name of the show is Impact Wrestling, and that's what I call it. I stay away from saying TNA. I don't know if that's something that is done across the board. It's just something that I can't remember if I had a conversation with somebody about doing it or if it was just something that's done organically. To me, it's Impact Wrestling. I think that branding is important, and you stay with one thing. And, at the beginning of the show, that cool graphic comes on, those bold letters, and it says Impact Wrestling, and that's where I stick to. Do you agree with me? You're nodding your head?
Yeah, I do agree. And just from, you and I have had this conversation before. You're big on branding, and I think that that's important. And I think that, there for a while it got a little confusing for fans. Is it TNA or is it Impact? So for whatever it was, for that conversation that you had or that decision that you made to just brand it Impact. And I think that that's kind of across the board with the majority of everyone at Impact Wrestling is trying to get on board with too.
And I think that you have to be consistent with things. And, to me, it's Impact Wrestling. This is the Josh Mathews Show on ESPN 102.5 The Game. Next Saturday, we'll be back next Saturday, but the show is Freedom Pro Wrestling, and it takes place at the fairgrounds. They have a big show next Saturday. They always put on a good show. They always surprise you with something, and that's what I like about Freedom Pro Wrestling. You see who's going to be there. You see the poster, but there's going to be some surprises. There's going to be some things that are unexpected, and that's what's fun about wrestling, right? That unexpected things take place, and Freedom Pro, who will be at the fairgrounds next Saturday, bell time of 7 p.m. They're doing it right.
Maybe we'll show up. Maybe you and I can show up and shake things up a little bit.
That's not a bad idea. We will be here in the Nashville area next Saturday, August 6th, Freedom Pro Wrestling at the fairgrounds. That's not
It's enticing. Anyone who's nearby should show up.
You never know where we're going to show up. We may show up at Titans training camp today at 2 p.m. and hang out with Chase McCabe and see what's going on. I've never been to a training camp before. I think it would be cool to see the players. Marcus Mariota, a former Oregon Duck, looking for year 2 here as a Titan. You went to a Titans game with me last year through a coworker of ours. We had sideline passes. We were able to hang out on the sidelines for 2 hours before the game. What was your impression of being at a game here in Nashville, a football game?
It's the same thing as I said earlier with the Sounds games. Nashville just does it right. Their sports teams really do it right. And when you buy a ticket to a game, be it a Titans game or Sounds game, or I haven't been to a Predators game, but I'm sure it's the same. You pay for an experience. And from the second that you walk in until you leave at night, you're just entertained. And aside from the athletic part of it, you become a fan because of the atmosphere and the experience that you get anytime you're there.
Yeah, I've always, with my NFL teams, I've always been a fan of where I lived. And it was so cool to grow up in Northwest Indiana. Again, I talk about my dad being a Packers fan, and this was Bears country, and we were Packers fans. Then I moved to New York, and I became a Jets fan because my friend Matt Fortune was a Jets fan. So I was like, okay, I'll be a Jets fan. And yeah, it was tough being a Jets fan. And Vinny Testaverde was the quarterback, and the Jets just couldn't win. But it was fun for me to watch people get so caught up in their team just being bad. You knew that the Patriots were going to beat them whenever they played them, but you just somehow thought to yourself, okay, maybe this is the year for the Jets. Maybe they can turn it around. And now I live in Nashville, and I instantaneously became a Titans fan when I moved here. So close to Nissan Stadium. It's right there in the middle of the city. It's so easy to get to. You can walk there from wherever you are, really, if you're in the Nashville area. And it's just so much fun. And I hope the Titans figure it out. And I think that they're on the path of figuring it out and becoming a player in the NFL.
Yeah, every team can't knock it out of the park every year. There's going to be growing pains. You're bringing new people in every year and hoping that they're going to mesh well with the ones that are already there. And, not every team can win every year.
It all gets started today, 2 o'clock. Chase McCabe will be at Titans training camp. I can't wait to see and hear what is going on with this team, what is going on with the Tennessee Titans. We're running out of time here. Let me know what's going on with our Twitter poll. The question was, who is going to win the Bound for Glory finals, the playoffs? It happens this Thursday on Impact on Pop, and I believe EC3 is going to win. There's 6 minutes left. He's got 71% of the vote. So you all feel that EC3 is going to win this upcoming Thursday. Don't miss Freedom Pro Wrestling next Saturday right here in Nashville at the Fairgrounds. We'll be back next week, 8 a.m. live for the Josh Mathews Show. Thank you for joining us. We'll see all of you next week.
It's hard to catch every game of a given sports season. That's why we post the best of the best videos online. From spectacular plays to can't miss moments.
Okay.
We're going to go off of these
Oh,
things.
here's your response to Detroit Lions from my friend Bill that works for them.
Oh, yeah?
He said, we're not cursed at the right... Wait, not sure cursed is the right term. No goats that I know of. You're in Detroit. He's from Chicago. But yes, we are going to attempt to get it turned around here. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I agree. All new people.